Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, just click on it, it only takes a second. We've got all kinds of projects going on. Just have a look on the channel, there's plenty more, I won't go on. But, quick job today, we're building a new engine up to go in the van behind me. It's a VW AFN 1.9 diesel. The block itself is absolutely fine. It's one that's been lying around, you know, the engine's just sat in a corner. We've stripped it apart, there's no real wear in it, the block's in great condition. But what I'm basically going to do is freshen the engine up to put it in. So the block's been cleaned, I've painted it black, looks really nice actually, it's come up well. So the next step is to get this block ready to be built again. Now, the shells in the bottom, all that sort of stuff, I'm looking around, you've seen a bit of dirt there, all that's pretty much ABC, but one thing you have got to do, we're putting new piston rings in. I'm not going to change the pistons, they don't need changing. When you get a new piston ring, when you put it in, obviously you've got to gap them, I'll do that when I do the build-up video. But you would think, looking at it, that the side of that piston ring is perfectly flat. But if you were to get, you know, a microscope or whatever and look at that, it's not, it'll be a little bit crooked, it won't be, what's the word, it'll be, you know, it'll be rough almost. It's not a perfect flat surface, and that's what it's got to be to seal to this bore. Now, when the engine's built new, they're honed to size, and that leaves like a matte finish in there, which when this thing's going up and you know, even at idle, when this thing's going up and down 500 times a minute, that's quite abrasive. It wears away those rough edges, and it basically polishes itself together. So when the engine's run in, the surface, the running surface on the bore, it'll literally look like it's been polished, and that's great. That's going to seal fantastically, and it's going to do the job. The only problem is, if you want to replace the piston rings, the new ones won't run into it because it's so shiny, there's no abrasion there, it's not going to run in. So you're going to have breathing issues with the engine, it's not going to be down, it's going to be down power, all that kind of thing. It's not a big deal, all engines do it. What you have to do is deglaze them. What I'm actually going to use is a honing tool for that because I haven't got those dingleberry deglazers. But it's no problem, all I've done, it's like a three-legged thing, goes in like that, it's sprung loaded. You adjust the tension on it here, that's the force that the blocks push out. Electric drill, everybody's got one of those. And what you actually do, this spins around inside the bore, you go up and down, and that will remove that glaze finish. You don't want to take any material with it. Generally, honing's used to take material away, we don't want to do that. So it's going to be a very light hone and a very low grade of stone. But once we're doing that, the purpose of going in and out is so that what you don't want is you can imagine when that's going round, it's leaving marks in there. You don't want them perfectly horizontal, you want them to be at an angle. Because if it's at an angle, the ring is going to come down it like that, and that's what's going to wear it in. If it's like that, it's going to be going in and out like that, and that can cause a lot of wear very quickly. So that's what we've got to do. Obviously we're going to put some oil in here as well. I'm going to use just some straight 40 engine oil I've got kicking around, that's absolutely fine. People use WD-40, you can if you want. I like something a bit thicker because it means you're not going to get it all over the place. And we're just going to hone the bore out, it shouldn't be a huge job. Let's get on with it. Alright then, so what I've done now, as you can see the engine's obviously sat on this engine stand. I've rotated it around towards me so I can see in there a bit better. The next thing, I'm going to put some oil in. This is straight 40 grade oil, it's actually out of the Bonneville, it's just some spare I had. And I'm going to, you can wipe it around with your fingers, I don't like getting my hands too dirty if I can help it. So I'm just going to brush them around cylinder number, where are we? Cylinder number 1. Let's just dunk that in there, that's going to be a nice coating. As long as you're using decent, you know, you're using oil, you'll be absolutely fine doing this, it's not actually that critical. I like using a thicker oil because it hangs around in there. If you use a thin oil, it just all disperses. And you have to keep reapplying it, and it has a habit of flying all over the place when you're doing it. But whatever, it doesn't matter. If you've only got WD, that will do fine. So, that's all in there nicely. The other thing you need to do, you might think you need to hone these all the way down to the bottom. It's nice if you can, but at the end of the day, the piston rings don't go all the way to the bottom of the bore. So, if you can look at that before you take the pistons out, or you might even see a wear mark in there. I'm going to put a bit of oil on the stones too. Make sure the bottom of your bore's clear. Very often there's bits of castings in the bottom, so when you go all the way down, you're likely to foul it, makes a right mess, you don't want to do it. And in the case of this engine, when I bring the camera in a minute, you'll see this engine actually has oil-cooled pistons. There's a little jet underneath the bore like that, spraying oil. I really don't need to be catching those with it either. So just be mindful. It's a minor thing, but it's not. It can cause trouble for you. So there we go. Put some oil on that. That's fine. These are the finest stones I can get for this this honing tool as well, because, as I said, I don't want to take any metal away. Right, and one more thing, and I've seen lots of people do this. As we said before, you want that cross hatch in there. That's where the movement going up and down. That's what creates that. When you stop, I've seen people try and avoid doing this. It's actually not a bad thing. Don't stop dead and then pull out like that, because when you stop, you're going to leave a horizontal mark in there. Just pull it out, let it go, and you'll get the best results doing that. So I'm going to put this in like that. Hardly any pressure at all on there. I'm going to just move my grip around. You can tell I prepared for this video. There we go, something like that. That'll be fine. And then just a low speed. You can get a fair, not the slowest you can do, but I mean, like 500 RPM somewhere in there. And then just go up and down like that. So if I get this drill to work, we'll be laughing. There we go. So sort of like that. Up and down. Now, you can do this in stages. You can do this in stages. If this doesn't take enough out, then you can always tighten it up. You can go up on the stones. Just don't do it for ages. You can always go up, but you can't go down. So that's, there you go. So you pull it straight out. No stopping in the bore. And what you do now, just to check it, I'll run away from the camera for a tick. I'm going to get some cleaner. It's useful to have a torch as well, but we can't have everything. I'm going to wipe that out. Now just looking at that, I can see that's actually starting to work. It's looking fine. I could do with going up a bit more torque on the spring, a bit more tension, and we'll carry on with it. That's not quite enough yet. So all I do is a little nut here. You wind it on, and that's made these are now pushing out harder. So put that in. I think it'll take a bit more than that actually. In you go. Keeping it moving all the time, never stop. There we go. That's really starting to take now. Let's have a look. Just squish this down here. You'll see when I bring the rag back, it's actually, it's black. That's coming on. Yeah, I think I could go a little bit more than that. It's getting a lovely cross hatch to it, but I still think that could do with a little bit more. Like I say, it's like baking a cake. This, you can always put some more in, but you can't take any out. So for some reason this thing keeps slipping around. There we go, stay there. It's your job. Put a bit more tension on. There we go. In the ball. Come on. There we go. Ooh, what happened to that? Now we've got a problem. What's going on? I think we'll just slip round there a bit. In you go, come on. think that's going to do it. I'll clean it out, have a look. I'll bring the camera in then so you can see. This is just like a brake cleaner, car cleaner stuff to remove the oil. Incidentally, when I've done this, because this engine isn't being built straight away, I'm going to put some oil back in there. Make sure you've got all this dirt and ramble out. Hey look, can holder. The bore actually feels grippier now, it feels fantastic. That's brilliant, yep. I think that's going to do us. Absolutely, yeah, that's fine. I'll bring the camera into it now and I can show you the difference between one and the other. Then I'm going to carry on and do all the rest of it, and that'll be it, the block's honed. So when I eventually get the piston rings turn up and all the rest of it, we can just bang this thing together. These jobs like this, if you can just try and prepare everything ready, like as you've seen in the video, this van's still got an engine in it, so I'm getting everything built up. So instead of having like a 3-week engine change because I've got to rebuild that one, I can put this one together. So the reality is, if I really wanted to, if I had no other jobs to do, the engine could be in and out of this van in a day. We could take one out, put the new one back in, and that'll be it. As it happens, I've got a few jobs I want to do while it's out, but that's by the by. I'll bring the camera in. Okay, so now we're looking at the engine cranked over in the engine stand. I'm going to just show you down cylinder number 2 first. I don't know what you're going to be able to see. If I try and poke a bit of light in there, you'll see that there's no wear, but it's quite shiny. You can actually see the light reflecting all the way around the cylinder there. Nothing wrong with it, no wear. But then if I come out and we go into cylinder number 1, I hope this is showing up, I can't really tell at the moment, but you can almost see that those rings almost around it as it's going down. It's matte finished. That's what you're looking for. Those grooves aren't very deep, you can't really feel them with your finger at all, but that's what's going to help that new piston ring bed in. So there you go, that just leaves me with the other 3 to do. Thank God it's not a 12 cylinder. Okay, again, thanks for watching. If you see anything you like, comment. If you see anything you don't like, comment. I don't mind either way. Thanks for watching.